Welcome to Astro Weekly for the last week of June. So from Monday, June 24th until June 30th, we're talking astrology. Well, on Monday, we have a grand air trine. So the moon is in Aquarius. The south node is still in Libra. And then Jupiter is in Gemini. So we have 3 air signs creating a lot of mental energy. And what's going on here is that we might receive a lot of information, a lot of insight. We might learn new things, a lot of intuitive hits, downloads, wisdom that is valuable to release some of the mental toxicity that is perhaps plaguing us. So we might get some insight into a healthier mind and what we need to release, such as, these I think are related to the South Node, Libra energy, and that is, not people pleasing, not prioritizing other people over your own needs, expressing what you truly feel and want, and really, exploring that and being stronger in your notion of what you want, what you need, and to express that. So this is very much also about communicating it to other people. Firstly, you have to know it yourself, right? And then you have to be able to tell it to someone else what you want, what you need. So on Monday, I feel that we have a lot of insight on this. Mercury is at an interesting degree, 14-15 degrees of the Crab, and that is where we find the fixed star Sirius. Also interesting because that is the new moon in the sign of Crab, occurring July 5th. So Mercury is hitting that point first. Well, first of all, Sirius is an important fixed star about sort of guidance and how to become more powerful, stand in your power, and to receive important protection and cosmic guidance. It is said in some stories that Sirius is one of the places where like humans are originated from. Perhaps this is something you can mentally tap into on Monday, because Mercury is here. And so we are receiving some sort of information about this, either about that Sirius planet or about the new moon occurring July 5th. So either way, you're going to receive some information, insight, or intelligence. Maybe you learn more about this topic. Maybe suddenly these topics are in your Instagram feed or in your YouTube algorithm. You know what I mean? Suddenly these themes pop up. So feel into it, this could be a nice moment to just go a little bit introspective and, meditate a little bit and quiet down so you can hear those intuitive messages. On Wednesday, we have the same Mercury coming to the 19 degrees of Crab, which means that it's trining Saturn in Pisces. And this feels like we might receive information or understanding of some deep healing, and also maybe inspiration to create something or to commit to more intuition, more spirituality. And the 27th, so the next day, on Thursday, the moon is gonna meet up with Saturn. So we're really going to feel into that. Like, what is that? Where we want to be more serious, we want to resolve and heal some deep aspects within. As well on Wednesday, we have a T-square of the nodes, the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, squaring off to Venus at 11 degrees of the Crab. And this means that, you know, on the path of our North Node in Aries, this is where we want to move towards, where we want to feel confident, have a strong self-esteem, know what we want, and, you know, be able to take action after that. And prioritize ourselves of what we need, what we want, who we are. So being quite unapologetic and direct in your expression, in your goals, in your total behavior. And also maybe new endeavors, you know, quite different from your usual way of doing it. This is new beginnings, new projects, new endeavors, new adventures. Yeah, and so Venus is squaring this. It means that, you know, you have to consider that it has to feel, it's about uncomfortability because of T-square, but then Venus in Crab is about comfortability, you know, being comfortable, feeling secure, feeling sensitive and being okay with that, really being self-nurturing and nurturing other people. This is a very soft and kind energy that Venus is in, right? But because she's squaring with the nodes, it's a stressful energy because the North Node is not about kindness and thinking about other people, and it's not sensitive like the Crab, maybe more insensitive. So there's a bit of a war in energies on Wednesday, where either you might feel like you're in an argument with either a female or feminine energy because of that Venus, or this could also be related to home, family, so potentially maybe sisters or mother even, that, you know, there might be some tension there, but also maybe in the home, because that's what the Crab is about too. And either way, it's about adjusting your values. So I feel that, yeah, the North Node is very much unapologetic and like it has to be my way, and focused on that direct path to your goals. On Wednesday, Venus is infusing it with relax a little bit more. We don't have to be this harsh. We don't have to be one way about it. And we can incorporate our loved ones into this and think of a steadier goal, as in, you know, a home, family, and so it's blending in kindness, something that, you know, Aries might overlook. So and then it's interesting because that T-square, it's also squaring the South Node, where you know, we have to watch out for over kindness, because, you know, that's the whole tension. At the end of the day, it's all about the North Node in Aries, so it is about doing it our way, you know, being confident, leading our lives to new paths, and just way more brave and resilient, and just a very strong sense of self, of who you are, and therefore what you want to do now. And so the South Node, as I said, is very much thinking about the other and all that. So it's squaring off with that Venus, whereas yes, kindness, but then, as I said, the North Node in Aries wins. So yes, kindness, but there's a limit to it. It's something that crab might overlook as well. So this whole T-square is about finding the right path between, yes, you're the most important person in your life, and you have to, you know, put the mask on first, the oxygen mask. You have to take care of yourself first. Your cup has to be full, right? And you have to know who you are, you have to know what you want. But then what Venus is reminding us that this is not like, you don't have to be alone about this. You do not have to be that straight, in the sense that we also want people around us, and we want to have the softness, the kindness. We want to have the oxytocin, you know, the love hormone that Venus in Crab brings here. Just that feel good, soft, warmth, has to be, as I said, infused in our next chapter. So we will maybe feel into that, because Venus is a personal planet. And also the sun is, of course, still in Crab, trining the moon in Pisces on that same day on Wednesday. So all good feelings. Perhaps, you know, some, as I said, arguments might rise up, and you might be more sensitive than usual on Wednesday. On Friday, that sensitivity would continue, because Mercury in the Crab is squaring off with Chiron in Aries. So this is trigger moment on Friday. And also Chiron is very near Eris. So a little bit trouble over here, triggers, hurtful words being exchanged, perhaps, you know, hurtful communication, feeling like you're hit in the gut with that Mercury by someone else, and yeah, triggers that are about confidence and childhood wounds. And on the 29th, so Saturday, the moon joins Chiron, so that is definitely a moment where you'll feel into this strongly. So Friday and Saturday, you might easily be triggered by other people using certain words that can feel very hurtful and take you back to earlier times. On Saturday, well, first of all, Saturn goes retrograde, our planet of materialism, of success, of boundaries, and commitments, goes retrograde in Pisces. So these energies are more turned inwards, so more reflective. Perhaps you might think more about, like, well, what is success to you? What do you want to commit to? Have you committed to the wrong things? Can you incorporate more spirituality, more healing into your life? Because that is where Saturn is at. And it's very difficult, because Saturn is about that material life, and then Pisces, where it's at, is about the immaterial, the unseen energies, the mystical, spiritual side of life. So it's, Saturn is very already perhaps a bit in discomfort and not knowing. So that's maybe where you're at as well, that you feel like you should move into more spirituality, more meaning, more faith, right? You might feel that call. But then, of course, Saturn is sometimes, you know, holding the brakes and like, well, remember the real world, you know? And so you might feel like that, like, these two things are separate, you know, that all good and well to have faith and spiritual life, but then there are real things, you know, you have to put money on the table, you have to be responsible and, like, right, follow your obligations, and these two are a bit separate. So I think in the reflection period from Saturday on, you'll be thinking about this more than perhaps normal, like, what is the path you're on, what's wise, and what do you want to master more, because at the end of the day, that is what Saturn is really about. And being in Pisces, it means you have to master the unseen, mystical, spiritual, healing, emotional aspect of life. So also on Saturday, and this is a bit worrisome, Mars hits the 15 degrees of Taurus, and 15 degrees of Taurus is a world point. It means that it affects many people. Taurus is, of course, about Earth, so we're talking natural disasters, potentially. Might also be financial issues. And it's not the first time that something in the fixed signs at 15 degrees, also in Leo, we experienced a big earthquake in Turkey last year in the Leo energies, but same degree. So when Mars moves into 15 degrees of Taurus on Saturday, this is earthquake energy. This is explosive energy, so things might blow up, perhaps a volcano or other explosives, natural or seemingly natural. So yeah, fires, a lot of fires could occur with Mars here. So perhaps a bit cautionary, you know, being cautionary might be important. I don't know what you could do when you're faced with natural disasters, a bit difficult. But know that that risk is there, definitely on Saturday and around Saturday. So take it as you want. So that's a little bit worrisome. Venus is at 15 degrees of the Crab, just like Mercury was on Monday. So on Saturday, Venus hits that point. It means that, again, we feel into that serious energy of protection, of cosmic guidance, of empowerment, and but also the new moon that occurs around this degree on July 5th. So this is rearranging your values and, you know, what matters to you, what you find important. And as I said, I really feel that it's a theme that is feeling into the new moon, which is going to be very fruitful 6 days later, 7 days later. So what's interesting here is that Mars and Venus are sextiling exactly 15 degrees of Taurus, 15 degrees of the Crab. That's an exact sextile. So they are supportive. And interestingly, I noticed that it is making a yaw to the Great Attractor in Sagittarius. So the Great Attractor is about what you want to attract in, literally. It's a strange anomaly in the cosmos. They don't know exactly what it is. But it is a higher consciousness. So I feel that Saturday could be a day where you could do some wishes or rituals around what you want to attract in. And when we are looking at Mars and Venus sextiling, this is definitely about relationships or, you know, even wealth, material, so money, but also like having higher values about yourself, a stronger self-esteem perhaps. And definitely it's a building energy between water and earth. So anything material or relationship themed, anything about worth and value is something you could work with on Saturday. And I just noticed that Saturn is going retrograde on Saturday, which is Saturn Day, the day of Saturn. So that's funny. Anyway, moving on Sunday, we have, well, actually, so in America, Saturn's going retrograde on Saturday, but in Europe, it is Sunday, occurring at 19 degrees and 25 minutes of Pisces. So if you have anything around that, that's significant for you. Occurs at 7:07 GMT in the morning, which I found interesting, the number 7. And on Sunday, the moon in Aries is squaring Mercury in the Crab. So that's, again, a very triggering feeling about your self-confidence or arguments or just words that are upsetting, perhaps. Watch how you think about yourself as well, okay? Don't put yourself down. That might be a bit of the energy on Sunday. As well as Mercury and the Crab sextiling Uranus in Taurus. These are both higher and lower minds. So this is very much about sinking in and receiving higher wisdom and information that helps us move forward in a very solid way. So don't be strained this week by these emotional triggers, these hot words that may hurt a bit. Look a little bit deeper where it comes from, and just don't go into that, because you will not get much out of it. Just know that there's a lot of triggering energy this week, a lot of perhaps potentially arguments, and so we want to stay as neutral as we can. There's a lot of mental energy going on, mental stimulation, so we are receiving a lot of information that hopefully can help us move forward and learn, so we have a more healthier mindset. So that's this week. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy this last week of June.